Hello to my biology online pre-healthcare learners. Chapter 3, I'm going to go through a quick little to-do list for you. Chapter 3 can be intimidating because it has some chemistry in it. It's nice to understand the chemistry of the body, especially when we get into digestion, because then you understand what the molecules are, where they're coming from, and where they're acting. Now, don't get too confused about the biochemistry. Think more of it in terms of nutrition. You've probably heard of carbohydrates, you've probably heard of fats, you've probably heard of fats and lipids, and you've heard of proteins. So this is familiar to you. Now, to help you work through this, I have put first off the reading guide, which I'd like you to download, and then also there is a table I made with the biological molecules summaries, and they will summarize the 4 tables. I want you to, it's nice if you have it to work through as you go through the document, so this way you can summarize what the molecules are, what the components are, what makes them up, and that's important because in digestion we break them down, so it's nice to know what you have. Then what are their uses? What are some examples? What are some other terminology with it? Ideally, I would like this posted on Wednesday before our Thursday and Friday exam. And also I will probably post an answer key Wednesday morning or Tuesday night because this is just a summary table. I'm giving you effort marks on it because you probably won't fill it out exactly the way my linear brain was thinking, but that's okay. I just want you to summarize terms, and it's a way of guiding your thinking. Then there's a bunch of videos, and again with the videos, 2 lecture videos to go through. And I made 2 because my hard drive booted, or no, I had a program at the time that could only do a certain time. I've now bought a larger program, but I also need to have a free hard drive in order to get it. There's one series called the Crash Course series, and this biological molecule video is from that Crash Course series. It's a little long and the guy talks a little fast, but it's good introduction for you, especially if your chemistry is a little weak or you don't remember a lot from Bio 20. Now there's protein series there. Now the thing about proteins is shape matters, and that 3-dimensional shape is formed for a purpose, and it's done for a reason. What I want you to look at is, or get an idea of why those form. And with proteins, if they're a certain shape, they're like the key that opens the lock. If they're not a certain shape, that key won't fit and the process won't work. So we're purposely turning on and off our proteins in order to have them work. Then there is a video on lipids and a video on nucleic acids. Now, I'm giving you an effort mark for the biological molecule summary, but I do also want for your own assessment to go through the questions in the textbook. Realize that your test is multiple choice and the questions in your textbook are set up multiple choice, which is good because sometimes you have the information but you're not thinking of it in a test question format. So this is a good way of getting it for you. The answers are either at the back of the book or they're right in before that section of the test. Okay, let's look at Blackboard then. On Blackboard, come on, mouse. On Blackboard, this is in Unit 1, Chapter 3. So you click open Chapter 3, and you'll see here are the learning outcomes. Again, it sounds rather technical, but we're just going to go on a surface level. But I want to come back and readdress these through the course when they make more sense. I do want you to know what atoms and ions are. We'll talk more about pH later. But I want you to get the idea. Okay? Now, the time commitment, there's a lot of videos to watch, but they're in little chunks, so take your time, chunk by chunk. That's the way we'll get through it. And here's the to-do list down at the bottom in case you need to know what to do again. Okay? So, 2 lecture videos. Here's the biological molecule summary. Just a few things with this summary. Here is the link to the table. And this is my way of trying to put thoughts into a very linear, organized way. If you're not that kind of thinker, just take a few notes. And some of you will find that they're not in the format you want and you won't get the right thing in the right box, but I want you to get the idea. Okay? Excuse me. And it's good if you have this summary table in front of you before you watch the lecture and do the textbooks, because then you can add as you go and then you've got some nice notes. When it comes to handing it in, please use the right summary button right submission button to put your submission here. Don't use the comments for it, because if it's in the submission button, I can actually edit right on the document. I may do some editing, but I may just post an answer key at the end. This is just an effort mark. Okay? That's pretty much what we're doing. Some videos on each of the types of molecules. Some of them are a little more complex than what you need to know, but I need you to get the general idea. As I said before, there's a whole series here on proteins, and that's because I want you to pay attention to the primary structure, the secondary structure, and the tertiary structure, because the structure determines the shape, and the shape determines the function, because shape matters. Hopefully that's good. Please try and get this done by early next week. I will post some information on our upcoming tests in another video, because I like to keep them short. And then I'll give you practice and we'll be ready to go for that. So keep working hard. Hope things are going well. Bye-bye.